In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and pink beetles. Welcome to the Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew, and let's get to the show.
Welcome to the Daily Grind with the man, the myth, the legend, Rusty Buckets.
What is up, everybody? Happy Monday and welcome to the Daily Grind. I am your temporary co-host with my guy Wayno, hollering and bringing us in to this beautiful Monday as Luke is still in the great outdoors out west hanging out. He'll be back tomorrow, but in the meantime, you have us two buffoons. And Wayno, I before I ask you how your weekend was, I don't really even have to ask because I know you were reeling in that loss on Friday when U.S. dominated the blokes from down under 2-0 in the World Cup. Are you excited to eat those Big Macs or what?
Oh, man. And let me just tip of the cap to you, mate. Tip of the cap to you because you caught on quick me changing the subject real quick in the group chat. You were all over it.
Wasn't having it. Are you kidding me? We're sitting here watching an absolute shellacking in soccer. I mean, I don't know. I don't watch enough soccer, but I feel like 2-0 in soccer is a pretty good gap in victory. And Wayno's over here trying to talk about trading John Morant. And I'm like, you're speaking my language, but at the wrong time. USA, USA, USA.
Be waiting for it. Be waiting for
You knew it was coming. I hadn't mentioned it at all leading up to the show because you knew that's what I was going to lead with as we head into today's show. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to the show. Edward, King Meeks, all 40 of y'all that are hanging out there on the interwebs watching already. If you are here, let us know with a thumbs up. Say hi in the comments. We got a jam-packed show today on the eve of the draft where our franchise will be changed forever in the next 48 hours. This is the most pivotal moment in Grizz draft history, I would say, because, you know, when we drafted John Morant, we knew, there were two picks to make at the top of the draft. And it was either Zion or John Morant. And you knew Zion was going first overall. So we had a couple of months to where we got to just take victory laps and relish in the fact that we had John Morant coming to this franchise, Wayno. But this one feels a little bit different because there are 4 players in this year's draft that could be franchise changers. And yet the Grizzlies, once again, Wayno, find themselves in the driver's seat because they're going to get whoever's left from the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, look, last time we spoke, I think I said, you know, we're going to be fine. No matter which way we go, no matter who you defer to, who you defer against, like we're going to be fine. We've 4, potential game changers on the table, and we're picking 3. Like it's enough to get excited about for sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're picking between the filet mignon, the Wagyu, and the lobster here. It's not like it's not like there's a drop off in 19 when it was like Zion, Ja, and then there was a little bit of a step back after that. Like, you really cannot go wrong at pick number 3 unless you don't take one of the top 4. And that's the only way that you could mess this up. And I know Zach Kleiman gets a lot of heat, Wayno, but I don't see this being a draft where he gets goofy and tries to get cute and go outside of the predicted picks.
Yeah, I think that's why like the noise behind ZK is kind of on the low right now, because I think we're all aware of like the hits he does have. Like every GM out there is, has their misses for sure. We've had our own, but I mean, to pull out some of the gems he's found later in the first round and the second round, like is pretty phenomenal. So, I am going to trust in ZK as the draft process rolls forward, and we'll just go from there and see. I mean, yeah, like we said, 48 hours time, like we got a new Grizz team basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong about that. And to quote the great philosopher Lil Wayne, real G's move in silence like lasagna. And that's what Zach Kleiman has been doing, keeping everything close to the vest. There's no rumors. I've seen people complaining on X about, we're hearing all this, like, rights. People complaining on Twitter. It's a wild.
I'm on X.
I know.
Unheard of.
Right. But it's like they want Zach Kleiman. Like, they're seeing all these, like, leaks and smoke screens from other teams. And then they want the Grizzlies to be doing that. And, like, that's just not how we move. That's not how we operate. Like, this team,
it's all part
you're
of the
not going
game.
to know who we're going to pick until we make the pick. I mean, we feel confident in, and we'll get to it here in a minute, but we feel confident about what the top 4 order is going to be. But I don't feel confident that we're going to pick at 16 or 32. I feel like we're going to pick somewhere closer to 10 in the mid-20s, or we may package those and go get a guy in that TPE. We literally have so many options that the worst thing we could be doing right now is letting leaks and slips and smoke screens come out.
I mean, that's it. Right? It's just all smoke and mirrors right now. It's GMs, hustling for, throwing, fake trails out there. It's all exciting. And you know what? Shout out to you, sir, on the Draft and Stash podcast the other day. It was actually quite funny to see how everyone's board just sort of blew apart, with one move. And I said to you, like in our chat, it's like I expect like this draft to be much the same. Like I can't wait for those picks start to roll down, so everyone's board goes out the window. Like
that's it. Yeah, because we feel like the top 4 is pretty well locked in, right? I feel like, in my opinion, and you may be a little bit different, I feel like all the smoke, all the dancing, all the jockeying and posturing that we've seen, I think Darren Peterson's going first overall to the Wizards. I think he is the best pure scoring talent in this draft. He was the number 1 prospect coming out of high school. He was the number 1 prospect coming into this draft. To your point that you've said a lot, and I don't disagree with at all, is that the shenanigans, right? If you let somebody shenan once, you best believe they're going to shenan again. And the shenanigans kind of get in the way sometimes. But he's one of the best talents in the draft. So I feel like, in my opinion, I think it's going to be Darren Peterson, DeBansta, and then Boozer and Wilson.
And to like the whole Peterson thing, and like it's been fun, like, talk with people in the chats. Like you never once heard me say that he's a bad player. You never once heard me question the talent there, because that's evident. Like you don't need to be a rocket scientist. You don't need to be a guy who watches college hoops all year round to watch the clips and see that. You know what I mean? So it's just like you said, we're picking so high. For me, potential is a dangerous word, and if someone shows you their true colors, then believe them.
Fair, which is why I think we're going to walk away from the podium at 3rd tomorrow night at Grind City Brewing. Y'all need to come out and hang out with us. I'm rocking them today. We'll be at Grind City Brewing watching the draft live. We're going to have some Grizz and NBA themed trivia leading up to the draft. And then when the Grizz pick at 3, we're going to pick Cam Boozer. Like that feels very natural. That feels like the direction it's going to go. I don't think anything's going to get silly. We're not trading up. We're definitely not trading back. We're in position A, right? This is where you want to be. This is like you've smoked your driver. You've hit a great second shot. You're like approaching the green, and all you got to do is get it up on the green, and you've got an easy putt for birdie. That's where we are because we don't need to be sweating or stressing. I feel like Cam Booster's the pick, but if anything goes sideways in the first two, you're still getting one of the elite players in this draft. And in that Draft and Stash podcast, I walked away with AJ DeBansta, which is still a great position to be in.
Shout out King Meeks there. Yes, sir, my guy. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
let's go. We're gonna have a huge crew there tomorrow night. King Meeks is going to be there. A lot of the BCM personalities are going to be there. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Wayno here. We tried, but the Dingo Express only runs so many times throughout the year. But we're gonna have a live show for those there. We're going to be live on air for those out of town that can't make it, much like Wayno and some of our other fans from across the globe. So y'all be watching. It's going to go live at 7. We're going to walk through. We're going to talk. We're going to have a lot of rotating people on the show. It's going to be a great time tomorrow night. But make sure you come because we are going to have some beer specials at Grind City Brewing. It's going to be a blast tomorrow night.
Look, and, love or hate this take, to your point about, like you come up with AJ, like whoever we get at pick 3, like they're going to help us because we already have our guy. Really, when you think about it, last season, as bad as that was, when were we our best on the floor? Was when we had Zach Edey.
Say it loud and proud.
When we had Zach Edey, we were the best on the floor. We were the best on the floor. We were garbage with just Jaron. We were garbage with just Jar. When Edey was on the floor, it was a game changer. So whoever we bring in to play alongside and like with Zach Edey and help amplify both their games, like we're going to be in such a great position. Like I'm like optimistic about like our Grizz future and where we're headed. And I don't mind who we draft at number 3. I mean, I got my guy.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
Like, honestly, end of the day, like any one of those 4, really, like you could pair them with Edey quite easily, and I think it's just going to translate into a really fun season.
Yeah, the only 10-game stretch, which the $2 Sports Show we did last year, the Beale Street Heat Check, where we watched 10 games at a time. The only 10-game stretch that was above 500 was when Zach Edey played. You wonder why he got shut down and got all these little extenuating, like these extra surgeries and stuff done, because he was too good at basketball. Like he was too good to play in a season where we were tanking for this very situation. And Edward, what a great transition, because I do want to real quick. Ninja DJ's right. Edey and Sed, both phenomenal building blocks, because Sed went into this summer with a very mature mindset of how much better he's going to get, how he's going to be a leader this summer, that age doesn't matter. Anybody can step up, be a leader. He's going to be one of them. And then Edward asked the question, do y'all think there'll be a lot of trades on draft night?
Ooh.
I think since we haven't heard any other than last night, the Thunder trading Aaron Wiggins for 2 second-round picks pretty late. I think we're in for an interesting 48 hours starting now, going through the end of the draft tomorrow night, Wayno. I think we're going to see a lot of movement. There may be some fringe stuff, but I do think it's going to get a little silly.
I'm in two minds about it, because I feel like, the weight on this draft class, I've been saying it for a while. If not this draft, then when? Like, if you're banking picks, like when, like why not use them in this one? If this is the draft that's projected to be as deep as, since the LeBron draft, then like, shoot your shot, take your chances, make the play, like bring in someone who can actually help your team. I mean, there's too many bad draft classes out there, really. Like we've got an exceptional one on our hands. I've said it before. I've grown attached to like this draft class already. Like it's just going to be sad that some of these guys are going to go off and become bad players for bad franchises. But like, I mean, I wonder who, I wonder what the tip is.
What's going to be the first domino to fall?
Because the one that they go, you know what, this is enough for us to get out of the top 10.
And honestly, I think a lot of it, we're waiting on the Giannis saga to finally end. We're waiting to see how that goes. We'll get to Giannis and more here in just a few minutes, but I think people are waiting on that. That trade will create a domino effect throughout the rest of the league to try and reposition and change the landscape, as we'll get to the Central Division here in just a minute. But let's stay Grizzlies centric first. I do want to get to that, but I want to talk about Grizzlies for a few more minutes before we move on. the Dallas Mavericks are a team that it came out yesterday that might be interested in moving back from pick 9. And to your point earlier, like whoever we draft at 3 is going to pair really well with Zach Edey. And then it can change that 16 pick, especially if we do dance with Dallas and we move up to the 9th pick. Morez Johnson pairs with either of these guys, maybe a little more so with Darren Peterson if that's the pick. Maybe if you trade up with Dallas at 9, you can go get a Braden Burries, who's a shooting guard that's got a lot of attention and smoke around him from how great his workouts in summer has been. Over the last couple of days, the Grizzlies have also been kind of pseudo-linked to Bennett Sturts. Somebody came out and said that Bennett Sturts' workout was the best the team had hosted of anybody. And I said that I felt like that was specifically talking about Memphis because Sturts, after his Memphis workout, said it was the hardest workout he's ever been through. Cameron Carr is a name that keeps coming up linked to Memphis, which both these guys pair really well with a Boozer and Edey front court. Wayno, what do you think about the smoke here? Do you think that those are a couple guys we'll target?
I have a question on you because I'm kind of fringe on both these guys. I mean, I'm not like as in-depth with their game as probably you are, but they're kind of that, like Carr's definitely more edged toward the small forward, whereas is it Sturts? I always say Sturts. Yeah, he's obviously edged more towards the point guard. Out of those two, I just feel like in our system, like we have really gone away from one-dimensional players. So that being said, with these two, from these two, who has the most success playing the other position?
That's tough because both of them, right? And walk me for a second, because Bennett Sturts is a high IQ assist machine, can go on a generational heater from 3, but if the shot's not working, he can also be a very serviceable point guard. He's kind of a combo 2-1, I would say, because he facilitated that offense in Iowa. They were a well-oiled engine. Their Iowa basketball team is not like the football team. The Iowa basketball team actually scores points. The football team does not. But he is a combo 2-1. Cam Carr is more of a 2-3 at 6'6", super long arms. You talk about like a couple years ago when Zach Kleiman said we want dogs on this team. I think in his mind he was picturing Cameron Carr. Cameron Carr walked into a gym in the combine scrimmages and dropped a 30 burger on some of the best players in the world. Like couldn't miss from 3. He was so good, in fact, that they shut him down and said no mas. Mas. Like we're done.
Answer the question though. Gun to the head. Who's most successful playing the other spot?
Bennett Sturts because of the way his IQ. I mean, Cam Carr is a great player, uber athlete. Again, finish what I was saying there. He's a bucket getter. He is an inferno when it comes to an offensive engine. But the way Sturts would fit, especially if we're talking Grizzlies in Isolo's system, the way he sees and moves the floor, there's a world where you've got Ty Jerome and Ty Jerome's clone in Bennett Sturts, to where they see the floor really well. They are confident in their shot, but they can be a bit of a slasher. Like I think Bennett Sturts learning from Ty Jerome in Memphis would be one of the best things for his career.
I've got a bit of a wild card it for you. And like it'd obviously be picking like quite late. Just your thoughts on Malik Thomas.
Oh, from Arkansas?
I was pretty like I remember sitting in your living room watching the final the NCAA tournament and it's just like the more we kind of were watching Yaxel, the more we fell in love with Morez, the more we watched Koa Pete, the more we fell in love with
Braden
Burries.
Yeah.
I find myself the same with Malik Thomas because the more I watch Acuff, the more I'm like, man, Malik, as like the powerhouse scoring machine that Acuff is, I was surprised that Malik would still be able to get 15.6 points per game off as well.
So the thing with Malik reminds me a lot of a Caleb Wilson archetype, to where they have a super high ceiling, but the floor is a bit low. Malik is still very, very raw. And Acuff kind of hurt some of that development because he was so ball dominant and the usage was so high. Now, to still be able to get 15, 16 points, Acuff averaged 6 assists a game. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that he brought the team down. They made an Elite 8 run. Acuff was a phenomenal. He was the SEC Player of the Year.
Yeah.
But I think that there is a lot of growth that still has to happen with Malik But I think if he maximizes his potential, I mean, he could be an elite 3-and-D type wing. He's long, he's rangy. He actually plays defense, unlike the aforementioned Darius Acuff. He's super raw, but that's a good one to watch out for late because Arkansas is a freaking prospect factory, and he would just be another one. And I really like Malik Thomas's game, but with Malik, the word that comes to mind is raw.
Yeah, I just thought, watching him, if he could just nail his floater in the lane, he'd be quite hard to stop. Yeah. Because he's got a real nice, pull-up three. And again, I'm talking late first rounder sort of option if certain guys are off the board. I just like the looks of him. I was impressed with him and his production playing alongside a guy like Acuff. So, yeah, it's just another one for the.
So he's a Swiss Army knife type guy, similar to like a Jimmy Butler coming out of Marquette, to where there's a lot of things he can do. And if he maximizes his potential, he could be elite. But if I'm the Grizzlies and the Mavericks are serious about trading back and we trade up with them to 9, there's only 2 players I'm trading up for at that point. Morez Johnson to pair with Darren Peterson or Cam Boozer, because a Boozer, Morez, Edey front court, that's how you bully people. They would report us to the principal for bullying people in the basketball court. Or if you can give Braden Burries, a 6'5", 215-pound two-way guard who stuffed everybody's favorite Arkansas point guard in a locker in the second half of that Elite A game. I'm talking about little brothered Darius Acuff on national television. A guy that can go on a heater. He's a bit older, but again, where you can have Ty Jerome, Said, Braden Burries, and Burries and Said on the court together. You're not giving up a lot of size. Said 6'6", Burries 6'5", 6'6". Both of them exceptionally long immunity. Play on both ends of the floor. Those are 2 guys that could pair well together. And if Burries is there and you feel like you need some help with scoring, buddy, you sprint to the podium and draft Braden Burries at 9. I love everything. He's not a perfect basketball player, but I love everything about that kid. His work ethic, his mentals, and he's the guy that's going to come in and work.
I feel like he could go a bit higher, to be honest with you. I could see him going a little bit higher, but Dallas is a funny situation. I don't know if we're going to jump into the question now while we're touching on Dallas, but
do it.
Is it a good idea going into the NBA draft without a head coach?
King Meeks was on it a few minutes ago.
No,
you need a head coach because what kind of system you're going to run. What kind of I wouldn't have paired maybe a Ja Morant with a Tomas Isolo, because Tomas Isolo is big on accountability. Ja Morant's big on doing whatever Ja Morant wants to do. So this is going to be an interesting team to watch, which is why I picked them in the Draft and Stash podcast, because they still don't have a head coach. So I don't even know if they have an identity yet.
Well, that's the thing. Them and Portland, right? The 2 teams going into this NBA draft, our head coach. I mean, I've heard Tom Thibodeau. I've heard Terry Stott's been thrown around for Dallas. So I'm not too sure what Portland's going to do. I'll jump into them in a second. But you've got pick 9, 30, and 48 if you're Dallas. I just don't see them giving up that pick, that top pick. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like they're going to pick their guy, and then they're going to get a coach to help that kid along. I mean, you're pairing them with Cooper Flagg as it is. It's just a bit of uncertainty. I always find it interesting when teams end up in this situation. It's surely, like you said, surely you want that identity, to know who you are as a team, to bring in a player that's not only going to complement the coach, but vice versa. So, it's an interesting one for them.
And to your point, not wanting to trade back, why would they? It was Jake Fisher on the Steinline Substack. So a plugged in insider on a legit, it's not just NBA trade rumors or whoever y'all are following these days for the grifting, is a legit source saying that the Mavs are interested in Karim Lopez, feel like they could trade back for value. And if I'm the Mavericks and the Grizzlies calling off for 16 and 32 for 9, you take it, because then you're picking 16, 30, and 32 and 48. You could probably pair some of those up and move back up into the 20s again if you want to, especially if Karim is your guy. He's probably going to be there at 16. You can go get your guy there and add value to your 2026 draft. And for the Grizzlies, you do that because at some point, if you know this is your guy, let's say Morez is the pick and you know he is your guy, why wouldn't you go at 9 and get him before anybody else would? I mean, I feel like there's enough smoke here. I'm not saying the Grizzlies are tied to him, but it looks like Dallas might be interested in moving back. Now, I think if you can get, Keelan talks about it here, 12 and 17 from OKC to 9 for Dallas, you take that because that adds insane value to your draft this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting with Dallas. I mean, Portland, you know, another kettle of fish altogether. They've had originally, I think, 2 picks in the first round, both traded away, one to Spurs, I think, and I can't remember the second team, forgive me. But, I mean,
the Bulls at 15.
That's the one. If they're not going to pay their coach the going salary in the league, I mean, cheap is cheap, right? Like, you're going to end up with an assistant coach running that squad who's maybe looking for a shot on a 1-year, 2-year deal, maybe at max before he bounces. You know what I mean? Like, we kind of saw it with Splitter this season, right? Like, took over from Billups after all the noise and the gambling and the, you know, money under the table. Did well, got them to the playoffs, like we've spoken about the show, like, you know, tip of the cap to him. But you have like a real issue with this owner, and like there are just more and more rumblings coming out about this guy. And I just fear if you're a Portland fan, because I can't see them being active in this year's draft. I can't see them trading in. It almost
they have like 0 picks. 0 picks this year.
And like, it almost feels like, what's he going to like, I mean, we talk about trades and whatnot. I mean, I feel like they're almost like on a weird, going to get off some money and a weird kind of fire sale a little bit in Portland. I don't know what their future holds. I'd be super nervous if I'm a Blazers fan, but yeah, going into a draft without a head coach in play, I think it's
especially with an owner who, as King Meeks has said and you said, are both cheap. You're going into a draft where you could get some franchise-changing type players on the cheap, but you don't have any picks. And so you're not going to go pay a player. You're not going to go make a huge trade. Yeah, you're getting Dame back, and you want to see what you have with Dame and Drew and Donovan Clingan and Denny. But at the end of the day, like, what are you going to do if you need to piece around that? Because you don't have draft capital. You have a cheap owner who's not going to pay. Portland might just be entering basketball purgatory, where teams like the Heat and the Hornets and the Hawks and the Sixers just kind of perennially live. And
as much as I like a player like Jeremy Grant, do you know what I mean? Like, how much value is he really pulling for you right now? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of, I know I'm not saying beyond his prime, because he definitely helped a team for sure. But like, your and like even Scoot Henderson. I mean, you brought Lillard back. Scoot was supposed to be your kind of Lillard replacement. I mean, injury aside, like, has that really panned out? Like, how much weight do you have really with this franchise? But food for thought anyway.
Exactly. Well, hey, speaking of food for thought, we're going to take a real quick break. So get your breakfast, get your donut, get your nanners, whatever you have for breakfast. This is your time. We're going to take a quick commercial break. On the other side, we're going to be dissecting the NBA Eastern Conference Central Division, where we look at what these teams need to do this offseason in the draft, specifically the Milwaukee Bucks, who have been a subject of a lot of heat over the weekend. Stick with us through this commercial break, and we'll be back on the other side.
In Memphis, we don't just make memories. We make moments. A Memphis-owned brewery where great beer meets great times. Crafted right here for the city we love. Live music, game days, and events all year long. There's always something happening at Grind City Brewing. Bring your crew, bring your energy, and make every night feel like a celebration. Real beer, real Memphis.
Morez Johnson. I told you that his stock is going to rise coming into the draft. I think the floor for him is 12 to the Charlotte Hornets. Brother, I see people say things like, well, if the Grizz get Peterson, go try to get Morez Johnson, right? If you get Boozer, go get a guard. Like, bro, I don't know no better way to say this. I don't give a damn. What worst case scenario, best case, who drafts who whatever, who trades whatever. If the Grizzlies take a pick at 3, which I know they will, I want Morez Johnson at whatever our second pick is. I don't care about matching the talent or balance. Bro, I saw Zach Kleiman get in front of the camera and say this team needs dogs, right? Go get 2 of them. Go get 2 6'9" dogs in your team, man. I don't care if they play the same position because I believe they can play together. I hate to go here, but he's another Brandon Clark, bro.
Tune in to the Anthony Sain Show Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Tired of the same old fast food? The soggy fries, the frozen flavors, the meals that never quite hit right. Head over to Waldo's Chicken and Beer, where everything starts fresh and flavor comes first. Our chicken is fried in rich beef tallow for that bold, old-school crunch you can actually taste. And don't skip the premium homemade southern sides, fresh greens, hearty white beans, and creamy mac and cheese made to complete the meal. Bring your whole family. There's plenty of space to relax, plus a game room the kids will love. Catch the game on big screens, grab a drink at the full bar, and enjoy happy hour specials every day from 3 to 6, all day on Tuesday and Sunday. Waldo's Chicken and Beer. Real food, real flavor, made from scratch. Some dreams don't just come true, they come with 4 paws. At Puppy Dreams, we match loving families with happy, healthy puppies. From playful companions to lifelong best friends, your perfect match is waiting. And with our professional grooming spa, your pup will look as amazing as they feel. Visit Puppy Dreams today and meet the one who's been waiting just for you.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind, your first start, first listen, Monday through Friday, proudly brought to you by FanDuel, Game Day Men's Health, and all those wonderful sponsors you saw in the commercial. Grind City Brewing, you saw it first. My lovely lady Maggie with the vocals on the commercial. We'll be there tomorrow night for the draft. Draftmas, as I'm calling on the $2 Sports Show, where we get to change our franchise forever. Don't miss it. Be there, 6 o'clock. Trivia starts, 7 o'clock. The draft starts. King Meeks, you wish Waldo's is going to be there? Come hang out, play some trivia. You can win some Waldo's gift cards. You can win some swag. There's a lot of fun stuff for giving away. Make sure you're there. Come hang out with us tomorrow night at Grind City Brewing. But wait, no, we've kind of kicked it around. We've talked about the Bucks kind of in a fringe way with this Giannis thing. We're doing a division dissection here on the Daily Grind where we are taking division by division the NBA and looking at what those teams should be doing in tomorrow night's draft. This one is exhausting because there's some interesting teams here, right? The Bulls are picking 4. The Pacers are getting Hallie back, but they don't have their top pick. The Cavs are kind of boring. They're stuck late in the first, don't really know what they're going to do. And then all we've talked about for the last 2 news cycles, 2 years, it feels like, is what the Milwaukee Bucks are going to do with Giannis Antetokounmpo. So let's start with the Central Division. We'll go in order of how they finished. The Detroit Pistons are the first overall, or the first team in the first team in the division we're going to look at. They finished first in the Eastern Conference. They are going to they've got a late pick in the first round. They're trying to build around Cade Cunningham. They've got some decisions to make about their players. What are your thoughts about the Detroit Pistons heading into this draft?
I think scoring is something you need to address. I think that it's time to trust Paul Reed. I think that if you're not going to play Beef Stew, if he's barely going to scratch 10 minutes a game in big playoff moments, then do you really need him on this roster? And I think Paul Reed's done enough to carry the weight for Detroit. Again, everything just feels like it's tied into a Giannis trade in one way or another. I'm sure everyone's heard the reports of Miami guard. Why am I blanking?
Oh, Tyler Hero going there? Yeah.
Tyler Hero, which I actually don't mind, give him a bit more outside shooting. Not everyone's high on him as what I am, but I don't mind the idea of that. I just think they need to obviously address, Cade can't do it all, and if people are going to fall into a shell of themselves come playoff time, as opposed to the regular season, that's something that needs to be addressed. They have Jalen Duran coming up on his contract extension.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what that looks like, shape or form. So some big question marks.
Yeah.
All in all, though, I think Detroit will be fine. I think man, how crazy. What a turnaround for this franchise, right?
Shout out JB Bickerstaff being a part of that for sure.
Man, crazy turnaround for them. And I think they'll, they're just got to build and trust in Cade and get guys in that can help Cade out because, great regular season, but come playoffs, bit touch and go.
Yeah, and that's why they need a Robin. To King Meek's point here, they need a Robin for Cade's Batman. They're currently slated to pick 21st. Tankathon has them taking Ibuka Okore from Stanford, which I don't know that I love that pick for them. Detroit is in a place where they could go chase a Tyler Hero, much more so than a team like the Grizzlies or some of their division foes, the Bulls and Pacers, where you could go chase a guy like Tyler Hero because that's one of those moves. It's a tweak of a championship team that makes sense. It doesn't make sense to bring Tyler Hero into a place like Memphis, though we've been linked to him, and I wouldn't be overly upset punching air if we got him. But it doesn't make a ton of sense because Hero is a guy that makes a championship team kind of take that next step with his shooting ability next to Cade's ability to drive, and it would create space for Cade, create space for Duran. I like that kind of a move. Now, if you stay in the draft, you're going to have guys like a Richie Saunders who can get on a generational heater for BYU, Sergio De La Rey, who's the international player who can score, point guard, small guard, that can 6'7" with a nice touch that can pair beside Cade. But the Pistons are in a really good spot, to steal from Luke. They're not rebooting, they're definitely retooling, and you can do that in a way without blowing up the whole team.
Are you going to double down on your call from this season to next?
Yeah.
Are you going to double down on your Cade call? Is Cade on MVP next year?
I think so. Yeah, I think the year too early. I do. He's that good. He's got that kind of talent. He can go get buckets. He can be that guy. I do think so. I'm gonna double down on it next year.
Yeah, nice.
I might do the year early.
I like it.
All right, up next, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who most recently has been in the news cycle with James Harden being arrested for unlawful possession of a weapon. You've got Donovan Mitchell, Strus, Mobley. They're also one of the teams that are up against the cap, and they need some help to kind of move around. Let's see. They are up against the cap at 200. Where's that at? 218 million. So they have to make a move or they have to start paying taxes. So I wouldn't be surprised, Wayno, if they're looking to offload maybe a Max Strus, maybe one of their big guys. I don't know. We'll see who it is, but they could be looking to offload somebody. And then they have pick number 29, the next to last pick in the first round in the draft here. Wayno, with Cleveland, man, it just feels like they're on that verge. Maybe it makes sense to retool and run it back one more time, but at some point you're going to have to reboot and blow this thing up and start over. I don't know that we're there now. This Cavs team definitely petered out in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Harden showed you who he was.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Yes, both him and Mitchell advanced a bit further than what they'd previously been, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
My only thing with Donovan Mitchell is, why didn't he take the defensive challenge? You're the franchise guy. You're the guy they're paying. Do you know what I mean? Why was it Harden's job to guard the other team's best player?
Yeah.
Scratching my head at that. Absolutely scratching my head at that. I just feel like for all his talk, that's the moment where he should have put his hand up. It's you know what? I've got Brunson. Give me Brunson all game. If he runs me, into the emergency room, we'll do that as well. But he was my big question mark in that series. I think the biggest disappointment, though, has to be Evan Mobley. I don't know if there's a move, if they look at Jared Allen or Mobley, or they keep that twin towers together. It's just a real, I don't know. I just feel like Cleveland's a real pickle. They feel like they're, although they're a good team, they feel also at times feel very, very mediocre, especially come the big games. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could sit here and say maybe they didn't knock on Brooklyn's door and see what the going is for Michael Porter Jr. or something along that lines. But I also kind of just think maybe you just need to stay pat and try and work this out internally, because it feels like it's between the ears. The talent, there's more than enough talent on this roster.
Yeah, to Ninja DJ's point here with yours, there's only so much you can maximize of this roster. They've done a really good job. I like Struz. I like some of the guys they have. Harden is what he is. As my voice is playing out this morning already, apparently. Harden is what he is, but this team's got talent. You're right. The problem is not the talent on the floor. It's between the ears of some of your best players. Mitchell's never been that dog kind of takeover kind of guy. He's always needed help. That's why he's always the bridesmaid, never the bride in the playoffs, with the ability to get to the finals. It's going to be interesting to watch Cleveland this offseason. And I think I speak for the collective basketball universe, where it's like Milwaukee. It's time to or get off the pot. I am so sick of hearing about Giannis. Oh, is he going to Miami? Is he going to Boston? OKC has the leverage. What about San Antonio? Do they make a play? Giannis doesn't want to leave he doesn't want to leave Milwaukee, but he wants to leave the Bucks. Maybe he's going to Brooklyn because it gets him closer to home. What in the world? How many times?
All right.
Plug your ears if you're an animal lover, but how many times can we beat a dead horse? That horse is long gone, brother. I don't know how many times we need to keep revisiting this Giannis Antetokounmpo thing. Can we just trade the guy already?
Apparently until it's done. Apparently we're all going to do that until it's done. Here's my question. What am I missing from this equation when it comes to Giannis? What's the issue with Giannis in Milwaukee? They've shown that they can build a contender. He has a championship. That's more than a lot of other players. Is it a relationship deal with the ownership? Is it he wants a bigger market? Because any team that really trades for him, any contender who really trades for him, is going to have to gut their team. I just don't see him being in a much better situation if he does go to Miami, unless they can really bring in some pieces around him. But I just don't see why. I don't see the get out of Milwaukee card at all.
I mean, Ninja DJ sums it up beautifully here. After that championship that they did win, and that's nothing to scoff at, they've done nothing to build a competitive. It's like they took that championship and they were like, hurrah, we did it. Okay, we're done. And then Giannis wants to compete for more championships. He wants a roster around him that can be more competitive, that can go win more championships. And the Bucks front office didn't seem to be interested in that. They completely bumbled the whole, Doc Rivers, Adrian Griffin thing. They bumbled that. They have completely dropped the ball building around Giannis. I mean, I would be upset too if I'm having to go on the floor with Kyle Kuzma, Ousmane Dieng, Kevin Porter Jr., Jericho Sims and Miles Turner. You got me Miles Turner, great, but Miles Turner is not great in the playoffs either. We saw that when he was with Indy in that finals run. If I'm Giannis, Giannis has all the right in the world to be frustrated with how they've handled the building of this team.
Oh, I get it.
That's where the big issue, the big sticking point is.
I also think a lot of that comes down to the health of Chris Middleton. Do you know what I mean? He after that championship really
started
to fall apart. Lopez.
But they didn't. But that's fine. But you got to go replace them with people.
No, I get it. I get it. I understand that totally. Look, I just don't. Sometimes the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Kind of take. You know what I mean? So I get it. I don't know if it's worth him. I mean, I'm with you. I am sick of talking about Giannis and trade scenarios. What was the latest one today? 4 teams: Miami, Detroit, Lakers, and Brooklyn. Potential to be involved with this, of course.
Yeah, of course.
So, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of can't you work this out?
Yeah, and I mean, there's rumors. I've seen smoke this week that they're already tired of Miles Turner and they want to ship him out and do a complete and total rebuild. If that's the case, they've been linked to Nate Ahmet at 10. That's not how you start a rebuild. Amen is like a 3 to 5 year project if he's ever going to be good in this league, and that's
Everyone.
a long. You know what I mean? Like
everyone is so out of Nate. It's hilarious. I can't.
I mean, he's got the basketball like like you talk about a boring basketball player. It's like watching Vanilla Pudding play basketball. That's like walking in an ice cream shop and saying with all these great homemade flavors and saying, you know what, you give me vanilla. Like that's Nate Ahmed. Like he's just so blah. And I just thought it was maybe Tankathon.
I thought it was Tankathon. We kept getting him Tankathon. I thought Grizzlies fans just over Tankathon, but it's clearly more than that.
It is. Like, I mean, again, like he looks the part. He's 6'8". He's been here with Mike Miller, Ed Miller's camp. Maybe that's going to help his shot because the mechanics are good, but like he's 6'8", he's wiry, he's long, he's uber athletic. But I watched him fold like a cheap suit in the NBA playoff or in the NCAA tournament this year. And so, I don't know. But they could get a historic haul for Giannis, which would jumpstart the rebuild if you're able to get – I saw him getting Atlanta's pick at 8. I've seen him getting the Heat's pick at 13 and whatever the other one the Heat have. I've seen them get some other picks in this that helps with that rebuild. That's what the Bucks are after is a high price for Giannis.
Yeah, look, the Boston one intrigues me because they're shifty. I don't trust Boston since the Marcus Smart trade. Okay, they knew what they were doing. What are we talking about here? But that's the one intrigues me. I mean, I don't even know if you're Milwaukee. Like, are you just totally rebuilding after Giannis? Like, are you moving Brown on to another team and just bringing in as much assets and young players as you can, or you're sticking with him? Like, it's a real weird scenario. But I don't trust Boston. I don't count them out either. So
yeah, that's it. The last two we'll move through pretty quickly. Chicago's interesting. They got picked. They got 2 picks in the top 20. They're picking at 4. The obvious take there is Caleb Wilson. He's a big that they need, franchise changing, uber athlete, super high ceiling. But of the top 4, to me, he also has the lowest floor. Like there's a world where he just doesn't translate if he doesn't add a shot and some lateralness to his game. He's great vertically, but he's not super shifty and can get tied up defensively. Then you turn around and pick at 15. Tankathon has him taking Caleb Wilson and then Morez at 15. I don't agree with that. Morez will be gone. I don't think Morez will make it past 12 at Oklahoma City. But this is an opportunity to inject some life into the franchise. This is an opportunity for the Bulls to change their direction. They're guard heavy. They got a lot of decent guards. Maybe you go for some wing and some big here, Wayno, but I think the Bulls picking Caleb Wilson is the obvious choice at 4.
Yeah, they need defense. They need bigs. Yeah. It was the whole problem with them. It's the whole reason they moved off Big Vuk. Do you know what I mean? Like he gave in nothing on the interior, and it's been the problem. They can't stop anyone. Although when they're on, their running game is amazing. Giddy at times are walking triple-double. They're the team I'm really interested in because they've got a whole new front office. And we all know, like, when you get a new boss, they come in and they want to make their mark. And I don't really feel like anyone on that roster is safe right now. I think they've got pushing towards a new voice. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I would not be surprised if they even move off from Giddy.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think everything's open. Art brings up this great point. If they draft Wilson and then Cameron Carr, this team's going to be a ton of fun to watch next year. Cameron Carr pairs really well with Caleb Wilson, both their ability to stretch the floor, get vertical, get buckets. Cameron Carr can go, again, like I said earlier, go on a heater. That would be a fun Chicago team with Giddy up there, especially the way Giddy sees the floor. Yeah. Like Giddy facilitating to Cam Carr and Caleb Wilson would be a fun team next year.
Plus, I'm really interested to see how Matthias goes another year under his belt. He's just
he's
this guy I have my eye on all the time. And I just think, man, he just gets he's
you talking about Buzelis?
He's quiet, he's quiet, but like
he's a hooper, man.
Yeah, he's making jumps every year.
And I really agree with Ninja DJ and Art here. Really think this splitter was the perfect hire. He's about the right stuff. Going to make that team fight. And speaking of a team with fight, like it's Pacers team, man. They're getting Hallie back. They've still got Nembhard. Siakam is still there. They tanked all year long thinking they were going to get their pick, and Adam Silver said, nope, unethical tankering. You penalize you 10 yards, you forfeit your pick, and the Clippers are probably going to take Keaton Wagler there at 5 with you watching. This Pacers team is going to be an interesting watch as well.
All right, let's not forget where they were 2 seasons ago.
For sure. For sure.
Pushing OKC, in the playoffs, in the NBA finals. Like, this team is going to be good next year. And yes, we can crucify them for moving off their pick and failing the tank out. But, I mean, look who they brought in. A guy who's given us fits at times. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I expect they are a team that is, true when they say, like, they never say die. They're never completely out of a game. I think they're going to be fantastic next season. And, okay, they're not getting, like, they tanked poorly. Do you know what I mean? But they're still bringing in new talent to that roster. They're going to be good, man.
I really like Jarris Walker, the wing. I like him coming off the bench. Obi was a playoff riser. Really like Obi Toppin. They've got a lot of interesting pieces. Again, I'm not crapping on them because I think they're going to be back in the Eastern Conference playoff mix in the picture for the whole thing next year. It was an interesting offseason for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I hope Johnny Furpy comes back from injury pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, because you got Furpy, you got Shepard, you got McConnell, like you got guys that look like us that can hoop, man.
yeah. They got talent, man. I mean, they're not that far off. It's kind of that thing. Like that Pacers team really did what everyone thought Boston was going to do last season. Like throw the year in and just come back the next year stronger. It feels like that was kind of the MO for Indiana.
Yeah. I mean, you could like TJ McConnell, Johnny Furphy, Jay Huff, and Zubac would be an interesting lineup to watch for the Pacers next year. Well, hey, on Mondays, we reserve Mondays especially for lasagna. As we start to trim the show, we can get out of here coming up on the hour mark, and I got meetings at work I got to do today. On Mondays, we talk about the good, the bad. Mondays are for lasagna. Garfield the cat loves lasagna, hates Monday, so we always talk good and bad. I'll go first with my Monday and lasagna. So lasagna, happy Father's Day to you, Bueno, to all the dads out there. Belated Father's Day here in the States. I know in Australia it's not till September, but I'm very fortunate to have had a great dad and great father figures in my life, growing up with both my grandfathers who have passed away, but one of them recently back in May. But just knowing some of the best men, I was very fortunate and blessed to have some of the best men in my life as fathers. And I know not everyone is. I don't take that for granted. And so just wanted to wish a happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I would never tell him this, but I look up to Drew Gann, not literally, obviously, but figuratively. I know. Yeah. I am a dog dad. Shout out to Smitty here. I am a dog dad, but not a real dad. But figuratively, I look up to Drew and how well he's handled this adoption situation. My brother's a great dad to my nephew. So that's my lasagna. Shout out to all the dads out there. And I'll be brief about this because I can't talk about it a whole lot still. But thank you to all who are praying and thinking of us with our journey with River. Unfortunately, it didn't come to the end that we wanted last week, and we lost our little buddy last Tuesday night. Miss that little dog a lot. Losing a dad or losing a dog like that is a lot harder than you think it is, especially one that was as good as River Dog was. So thank you to all who've checked in on us and been there with us and walked through this situation with us. Our lives will never be the same without that little nugget. And he's definitely missed more than you know. So
true cattle dog, man. A little spark plug, full of energy. They're such like hardy and strong and loving dogs, and I can attest. I've been in that house with that dog, and that dog is amazing. So much character. So I'm really heavy-hearted for your loss, man. So
I miss him in the mornings because like I was always the first one coming out in the mornings, and the first thing he'd do was go belly up and just lay there on the floor getting belly rubs first thing in the morning. That's how we started our day every day, and so. Yeah, man, it's tough. Going to miss that little booger for sure.
Yeah. I'm going to just tie all mine into one. How about that? My lasagna and my...
Let's do it.
Look, I thought, we had a convention. I don't work the comic conventions much anymore. I'm situated online and run that department. But every now and then, I put my hand up to help out, and they're a bit short-staffed. And I thought, you know what, I'll see if my boys want to go along to it and take them, and I'll work the next day or whatnot. They didn't want to go. They didn't want to go. So I stuck my hand up for no reason.
Oh, no.
Had to work a Sunday shift. was rough on the feet all day. I'm a big whinger, but no, it was great. It was actually, just seeing the amount of effort that people go to with their cosplay and things like that. Like it's really cool. There was a really good, really good Doctor Who Dalek that came down the aisle. He was amazing. Awesome time there, and I paid for it today. I'm really sore and tired.
Yeah, man, I'm sure.
Was.
I'm sure. Yeah, no, man. We've all been there, had to work those shifts and stuff like that, man. I used to work retail back in the day, so we're working like around Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that, man. It's not for the weak of heart. I'll say that. But that's going to do it for your Monday edition of the Daily Grind. Wayno, thanks for staying up late to be here with me today, sir. Always appreciate the back and forth and your takes. Appreciate you being here, hanging out with us this in the late night, I guess, in Sydney.
Yeah, it's 11:22, so late for some. This is me starting painting time. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah, appreciate all the kind wishes, Ninja DJ, Smitty, and the comments here. No, man, 2026, Smitty can kick rocks. It's been a rough year. The first part of the year has been awful. That only means the back half can be better. Like it's the night is always darkest before the dawn. I'm a big believer in that. And I know that the back half is going to be better. So again, thank you everybody here in the comments. You're still here at the hour mark. Give us a thumbs up on the way out the door. Drop a comment. Tell us where we're wrong. Tell us that Caleb Wilson is the pick and that we're crazy for not wanting Darius Acuff on this basketball team. And I'll tell you that you're nuts. But come hang out with us again tomorrow at 7:30 here on the Daily Grind. We'll be back at 11 for the $2 Sports Show today. Special edition talking draft with our guy Chip Williams, saying at 1 o'clock. And make sure you come to Grind City Brewing tomorrow night. Grizz and NBA trivia at 6. Draft at 7. Come hang out with us as we change the franchise. Y'all go be a friend of somebody who needs a friend. And we'll see y'all next time.
Thank you for listening to The Daily Grind. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.